What is going on, YouTube and weight loss warriors? It's your boy C-Dub, and I'm back with another video. And today I want to talk to you guys about obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA, and I'm going to do it right after this. Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy C-Dub, and I'm back with another video. And if it's your first time clicking on my channel, I want to introduce myself. I lost 125 pounds eating one meal a day, and I am here to help you on your journey. If you've already been a part of my channel and you've already subscribed, I appreciate you for being a weight loss warrior and supporting me. It means a lot. So one of my subscribers reached out to me on Facebook, and he asked me a question, and he said, listen, I want to know more information about sleep apnea, and specifically obstructive sleep apnea, and how OMAD can either fix it or does it help it at all, and what's the story behind it. And I did do a sleep apnea video if you want to go back in my archives and find it a while ago, but I talked a lot about my experience with sleep apnea and how it's affected me. And this one I'm going to kind of give you the details of what sleep apnea is, how it relates to obesity, and what OMAD can do for it. And I might talk a little bit about myself as well, but you guys kind of get the idea. So ultimately, what is sleep apnea? Sleep apnea is when you stop breathing in the middle of the night. And that is a huge problem. Now, when you stop breathing, what happens is you start to wake up and you're able to breathe again, but you don't wake up fully. You don't come to a total conscious state. But you don't end up going deep into sleep either. So basically, you lay down and you kind of do one of these, where your body is never getting into the deep sleep. And so why does that matter? If you're asleep, you're asleep, right? Well, it matters a whole lot because of a lot of different things, including autophagy happens when you're in your deepest of sleeps. All of your resting of your muscles and the inflammation happens when you're deep in sleep. A lot of great benefits happen, but you need to be in deep sleep. So if you're not getting to there, that's a problem. And why this matters is it becomes this big cycle of things. So what happens is you start to gain weight, therefore your sleep apnea starts to kick in. When your sleep apnea starts to kick in, then you can't get the proper sleep, which is making you not feel rested, which is making you more lazy, which is ultimately making you gain more weight, and it begins to get that snowball down the hill effect. And so that's a huge problem. And not all sleep apnea is overweight related. So it is something you probably should go to a sleep clinic and check with a professional about, because there is a part of the brain that sometimes can cause sleep apnea, and that has nothing to do with weight loss. But a lot of the sleep apnea problems begin with weight loss. And so what else does it do besides mess with your obesity and your sleep? It also, people with sleep apnea are more likely to have heart disease, they're more likely to have stroke, they're more likely to have high blood pressure, they're most likely to have blood clots. All kinds of things happen when you're not getting that sleep in the proper way. So if you are obese, what do you do to combat sleep apnea? So there's the way of the medical side, which is to get your CPAP machine and you hook it up to your face and it breathes oxygen all night and it keeps your airway available, and then that allows you to be able to get a full night's rest. But we're talking about not necessarily what you can do when you go to a doctor. What you can do is you can lose weight. And why does that work? So what you guys got to understand is that we look at weight and we look at our stomach and we say our stomach is where our fat is, or our butt, or our thighs, or whatever else. But realistically, when your body's storing fat, it stores fat everywhere, not just on the surface. So your inner organs begin to get fatty. That's where fatty liver comes from. You can get fat around your heart. You get fat around every organ there is and everything there is, including the back of your throat. It's actually the front of your throat. So you get a little layer of fat right behind your voice box. And what happens is when you're laying down and you're sleeping, that fat, if it's too much fat, will close your airway, and then you can't breathe, which will force you to get out of the sleep you're in and get a little bit of air. So you'll gasp for air, or you'll roll over, or you'll move, and you'll never get into the place you want to be in. So that's kind of where the overweight side of sleep apnea goes. So how do we fix it? And the great news in this, for me, I think, is that generally speaking, our bodies will lose a lot of the internal weight first, because that is threatening your body. So the weight on your stomach or the weight on your love handles or your butt isn't really threatening your health as much as the weight in your liver or the weight on your heart. So those are where your body is going to go to first. So that doesn't necessarily mean it goes straight to your throat when you lose 5 pounds and you're good to go, and we're all 5 pounds away from getting rid of sleep apnea. But what it does mean is it's going to try to fix the insides first. Now where that is on your body, whether it's the first thing it works on or the fifth, I don't quite know. But I do know that your body will eventually take the fat out of your throat and use it for energy, and then your sleep apnea will go away. And so a lot of people say, well, how much, medical, or how do you know this, CW? Well, first of all, I know it because firsthand I had sleep apnea. I had sleep apnea. I went to the clinic. I was diagnosed with obstructive sleep apnea. I went through it. I was told I needed to get a CPAP machine. And the first time I lost weight, and I got told this over a decade ago because my first son was just about to be born when I was diagnosed. And in the process of going through the sleep clinic and everything, the guy said I had to have a sleep PAP machine. I did not want to do it. I started to go to the gym and walk every day, and I lost 60 pounds. Now, I was still upwards of 250 pounds, but I lost 60 and my sleep apnea went away. Now, over the course of time, I gained that back. The sleep apnea got worse. I got up to 312 pounds, as all of you already know. In that journey, though, when I re-lost the weight, my wife at about 260 pounds said, hey, your snoring's going down. And by the time I hit the 230s and 220s, my snoring was pretty much gone. And now I'm sleeping better than I ever have. Back in a couple years ago, I was getting up at least 2, maybe more times a night to pee. I no longer do that anymore. So my sleep is exponentially better due to my weight loss. So if you are suffering from obstructive sleep apnea, the number one thing is to lose the weight. And I understand firsthand that when we talk about weight loss, that weight loss comes from our diet, not our exercise. And so if you're overweight, that's actually a good news. It's not bad news, it's good news. Because if you feel tired, you don't feel like going to the gym and grinding out 3 hours of walking and lifting weights and doing all these things to start burning the fat. But if you can get on a time-restricted eating program, whether that be 16 or 8, the Warrior Diet, or you hang out in my neighborhood and you get on OMAD, the good news is your weight should start coming down. As your weight comes down, you will feel better, and as you are feeling better, the sleep apnea will get better, and everything will start working in the right direction. Trust me when I say that eating one meal a day over the course of time and doing it in the right way and using all the methods that we have discussed on this channel in the past will eventually take care of sleep apnea. As long as it's obstructive sleep apnea, it is not going to help you if you have one of the other 2 kinds of sleep apnea. So I also want to make sure that you understand that the way that I did it when I would not use the sleep apnea machine is not an intelligent way of handling the situation. I should have gone on the sleep apnea machine and still started walking and doing all the things that I was doing at that time, as well as time-restricted eating, but I wasn't educated enough. Sleep apnea can kill you. Sleep apnea does kill people every day, and I actually lost a close personal friend of mine that was only in his 30s, early 30s, when he died of sleep apnea. He went to sleep, actually took a nap on the couch, and never woke up again because he stopped breathing. It is a real dangerous thing. So if you are suffering for it, if you're gasping for air, if you're waking up and you're not feeling rested, if you're overweight and you know that there might be some issues there, the best thing for you to do is hop on that phone, get with your local health clinic, talk to those guys, because I know that you need to be tested, and it requires sleeping in a hospital for one night. They monitor you. It was probably the worst night of sleep I ever got. I was tossing and turning. Even the guy that was doing the test was like, man, you were a nightmare. So, but with that said, I did end up with the diagnosis. My father also had sleep apnea, so it can run in the family. I think he's doing better now that he's doing OMAD. I haven't directly asked him recently, but I do know that for me, it took care of it completely. And that is an amazing thing. So If you have the issue, go see your doctor, then get on a time-restricted regimen. Start small, grow your regimen, and before you know it, you're going to find yourself in a situation where you are able to have a nice shrunken window and your sleep apnea is gone for another day. So I hope it was helpful. I appreciate each one of you clicking on this video. If you're new to the channel, my face is going to pop here. Click on it and subscribe. And if you've been to the channel, or even if you're new, you're going to see my other videos start popping up. Click on a couple of them, support my channel, help me grow this thing, because I am here to help you lose weight. I'm here to help you be a part of a community of people that are trying to do the right thing. So I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace.